That's exactly the opposite of what I'm saying.
The material conditions.
No, that's exactly what you were saying.
The
Non-compete.
Of slavery. Do you think that's moral then? Like what?
That's my point. Is that it has? I believe my morality stems from dialectical. Like, so let me put it this way.
But dialectical materialism isn't a moral system. It's just an analysis of history. Those are okay. These are the people who criticize.
I don't think dialectical materialism is just one lens through which we can view history, like in a material sense. I don't think it is. I could be wrong, but I don't think it has anything to do with morality. No, we could Google it. If you're ever doing philosophy stuff, the Stanford wiki is way better than just like the normal Wikipedia. Fuck, I'm not gonna be able to find this. My understanding is that I don't think dialectic materialism has anything to do with morality. I don't think it is that type of thing.
My philosophy, man.
Here's where you're wrong, because you are conflating empiricism and positivism and determinism with dialectical materialism.
No, what does determinism have to do with any of this? I feel like we're throwing around so many isms. I think we should stop and like define what we mean when we talk about every particular ism, so that we know what is going on.
But one of the important things that Marx and Engels pointed out, Vaush, is that through conscious activity we can impact the material world and we can make changes. And so, for instance, people can liberate themselves by developing mass movements, but they have to develop them with an understanding of the material processes of reality. If you try to develop, so for instance, of course, all poor people don't want to be poor anymore, right? But like, if you have false consciousness and you don't have a firm grasp on how material processes work and how the...
Is this you guys? Moot?
I don't think so. No.
Oh. I'm where you guys said you were, but there's another house here with a code lock on it, so.
We just jacked that guy up, man.
The world actually develops and how things can develop and how applying your consciousness to material conditions will develop reality. If you don't have that, then you will fail and fail and fail again. That's why Engels and Marx wrote Socialism, Utopian, and Scientific, because they wanted to stop.
I'm gonna die, but I don't have anything.
Remember,
so
they were organized.
The CDC says that no taste is one of the symptoms of COVID. That's when I knew this was a globalist conspiracy. I got the documents detailing Stephen Shitfoot takes, and I realized that he's had COVID for upwards of 5 years. Bad taste.
True.
Yo, Dest. This philosophy talk is some pussy ass shit that can suck my dick. Can we get to gym talk already? Love you, buddy. Squad W.
They were activists.
There's
they were actually going out.
Coming, I think towards you.
They were members of groups. They were doing
beelining.
things.
They're chasing me 24/7, but I'm in the dark, so they can't see me.
You know, and they had praxis, and they were so tired of having hypothetical conversations with people.
You've got a horse.
There's a difference between
hypothetical conversations, and they had praxis, and they were so tired of having hypothetical conversations with people.
I feel like there's a difference between
for rest server access.
difference between opposition to constructing a hypothetical entirely and opposition to the idea of basing one's entire political advocacy off of hypotheticals and nothing else. But that's because pragmatic advocacy for a political system and ethical systems are two different things. Hypotheticals are the only things that you can really use to construct a normative ethical system, because you have to isolate. Because first of all,
where are you getting this information from? Or is this something you just came up with, or what is this? What are you talking about?
Wait, are you in your old house, Mooten?
Yeah, I'm currently in here. Do you need in?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We're moving to the new place I sent you. It's really close by, but yeah.
Okay. If you're constructing an ethical system, like, or I guess learning to understand one.
Wait, what's an ethical system? What's a moral system?
A normative process by which you determine whether an action or a person is good or bad. In my case, an action, because I'm not a virtue ethicist.
Wait, did Vaush just say he's a virtue ethicist? He didn't say that, did he?
Virtue ethicist. Person is
System. What's a moral system?
a normative process by which you determine whether an action or a person is good or bad. In my case, an action, because I'm not an virtue ethicist.
Okay, that's right.
Okay. And do you think that you can make one moral system that applies in all conditions, or like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I don't
the goal-
really-
Yeah, this is the difference between it's moral relativism versus moral absolutism. This is like it's not like inconceivable that you could be a moral absolutist versus a moral relativist, right?
The goal would be to construct a normative ethical system that's universally applicable. It is a constant
That's
subject of debate in philosophy.
That's idealism.
That is not idealism.
say
That's
that's
the goal.
That applies in all conditions, or like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
the
don't
goal,
really
the
understand.
goal would be to construct a normative ethical system that's universally applicable. It is a constant
idealism.
subject of debate in philosophy.
Can you turn the fire on? I can't fucking
idealism.
see anything in here.
That is not idealism.
I can't fucking
That's
either, dude.
no.
Here.
That,
Thank you. Jesus Christ.
There's a loser outside though.
Why can't I access the fireplace? There it is. Okay, I'm gonna go kill that loser. All right,
Okay.
ready?
Hold on, let me put all my shit away.
If we die, we lose everything. So good luck.
Yo. I only have this.
Mr. Mutin.
Okay, here you go.
Ready? Go.
It's me.
Uh-oh.
What?
It's just CC Brady, I don't know.
Many treasures.
This is
Well,
simping.
we
No,
shouldn't
this is
do that.
actually
Yeah,
cheating.
We shouldn't do that. No,
he's
don't
actually
do that.
cheating.
Take it away. Oh, well, now it's SARS, right?
Okay, go inside. Hello?
Well, we're moving.
I need to get in the chest and everything.
Oh, okay. Well, here.
I hate.
Yeah, well, we're moving to a better place. I'll be right back.
Just lock me in.
I left a horse over here.
that's not what idealism means.
It is, because you're saying that you can hypothetically construct. You're saying that, like, if you sat down and thought
I
hard
back
enough, you
this
had a
one
big
in as
enough
well.
piece of paper, and you wrote down enough if-then Boolean logic statements, you could construct exactly what is morally correct in any given situation in your mind.
Well, the difficulty usually isn't whether something is good or bad. It's whether or not we
They
can
found my
assemble
horse,
all the
bro.
necessary information to determine whether or not it's good or bad.
The only
Like,
way to do that is through
hypotheticals are the
practice.
easy isolating factor.
That's what Marx and Engels. That was their big breakthrough. That's what made them. They synthesized empiricism and positivism of people like Hume and Ricardo and Smith, and the idealism of Hegel, and they realized that there's actually this dialectical relationship between material reality, material conditions, and human consciousness. But
That's not a matter of ethics. If we're talking about ethics, you need hypotheticals because they allow you to isolate conditions that you can use to determine the frameworks of your system. If you're only using practical examples for an ethical consideration, then you're post-hocking everything that happens. You're like, well, was that train crash bad? And you're like, well, I don't have a system for this, and you're like working through it. Dialectical materialism is just like this. Dialectical materialism is a system devised to allow us to analyze the world and to provide us a framework for understanding. That's what an ethical.
Marx and Engels, Socialism, Utopian and Scientific, wrote, the final causes of all social changes and political revolutions are to be sought not in men's brains, but in men's better insights into eternal truth and justice, not in men's better
sent you a
insights into
message.
eternal truth and justice, but in changes in the modes of production and exchange. They very specifically
That's not
said
an ethical-
we can't just sit around and think
We
about
actually already
what's
have
best.
that,
We
I
have to
think,
go
but
out
yeah.
and apply things in the material world.
That has
to find out
nothing
what
to
we-
do
what's
with.
best.
Okay, you realize that Marx had a doctorate, right? Like, clearly sitting and thinking is part of the process. I think it's okay to sit down and read out a few hypotheticals to learn an ethical system. Like would you like say this to some kid in kindergarten? Like, you know,
I can't believe that this guy actually thinks that any time you do a hypothetical, that's idealism. Or this is so weird.
action is what we need. Like yes, it's okay to do hypotheticals. It's okay to learn ethical systems. And by the way, rural utilitarianism is really applicable with socialism. It is incredibly, naturally, almost intuitively, in line with the moral assertions a person might make to argue in favor of socialism.
Marx and Engels did not just sit around thinking, okay, like in their brains.
We're not
First of
talking
all,
about
they
just
were
sitting
acting-
around.
Like in their
Wait, are you
brains.
against the concept
They
of,
based-
of philosophy?
You have to base your analysis on objective data, and there are two sources of objective data. There's the material world, and then there are objective social relations. That's the way Marx and Engels put it anyway.
Okay, let me test your intuitive system then. Okay, let's hit it then. Is it wrong to hit a person?
It absolutely depends on the material conditions and the situation and the objective social relations at play. There's no universal
Social
answer to that question.
relations. Okay, I agree. So one
Do you
might
not know
say
what objective
that
social relations? Do I need to define that term?
circumstances matter. Yeah. Okay. So I agree with that. So let's say, okay, let's use an example where all of the cases are known. You said that I was too vitriolic to Luna. Why is that bad?
I said that you need to look at the evidence that it's being presented to you and
I have.
consider whether you think it's bad or not.
And I
I'm
have.
asking you to apply this kind of analysis to your own platform.
Well, I've done that, but you clearly think it was bad because otherwise you wouldn't take issue with it enough to talk to me about it. You
I
think
it's
I've
bad
acted in error.
because I saw evidence, which is that after you talked about her, not just once, but every time you've done a stream about her, I saw a huge uptick in people throwing racist, vitriolic shit at her.
Why is that
That
bad?
she doesn't usually receive on that scale. That's the evidence I presented to you.
Okay. Why is
I
that
was
bad?
convinced by that. Excuse me?
Why is that bad?
Why is that bad?
Shut the fuck up.
Why is that
all
bad?
right?
Because a
It's
human
stupid fucking
being
meme.
suffered as a direct result of actions that you performed.
Yeah, but why is the suffering bad? Oh no, Vaush, go a couple levels deeper, and you'll have them right where you want them.
You think that human suffering is always bad? What
Okay.
about when we shot Nazis?
There you go.
I don't think that Luna. If you think that Luna deserves to suffer, do you think Luna deserves to suffer? Is that your point here? By being
wait.
attacked by racists? Is
That's
that what
the
you're saying?
You're the one who said that it was bad because a person suffered. So logically, I extend from that. You think when suffering
Yes.
happens,
Are you denying that it's bad that Luna suffered because racists sent racist vitriol at her?
I'm asking you your
Is that good or
positions.
bad?
Why was it bad?
I would say it's definitely bad because
Why?
it's promoting the racist system of white supremacism, which oppresses billions of people around the planet.
Billions.
Why is that bad?
It is bad because we should seek to liberate all of humanity from oppression.
Why?
So the main point of Marx and Engels is to you realize that the main point of dialectical materialism and historical materialism is to free humanity from all class antagonisms so that we can finally begin writing history ourselves. That's basically the way that they put it.
Why did
So
they think that
once-
was worth doing?
Because throughout modern history, or throughout history since class antagonisms arose, let's put it that way, human beings have been driven forward by oppressive relations with the means of production, and that limits humans and it causes a lot of suffering.
I
And
don't
it
understand these
is-
terms. You already said suffering can be good or bad. Limiting? What makes these things bad? I don't understand.
Okay, limiting oppression, giving people the ability to develop their own material conditions and to have the freedom to do what they want. That's what they talked about in
Why should people
socialism,
have freedom?
utopian and scientific.
Should people have freedom to murder?
Vaush, freedom to live.
It would be nice to have an
You're being
ethical
totally
system you could
obtuse
apply to answer these questions, right?
No, okay. A person has the right. This is okay.
He's
Let's go back
totally
to the
lost.
questions, all right? If you're being oppressed, right? If you're being oppressed and somebody is forcing you to work for them as a slave or a wage earner or whatever, that is a form of exploitation. Okay?
Isn't that their
What is
freedom?
bad? Excuse me?
Isn't that their freedom?
Eat the worm.
You're talking about
Isn't
restricting the
that their
freedom of
freedom?
people to do unto others what they will.
No, I'm not.
Because I'm putting
There you are.
100%.
You're saying that you don't like it when people exercise their freedom to oppress others. You said you value
Okay.
freedom.
Hi.
Vaush.
Mhm.
Listen. The fact of the matter is that Marx and Engels believed that exploitation through class antagonism is not good. Do you agree or disagree with that?
We're talking about I agree. I think I'm a Marxist, at least in some respects. But I have an ethical system that informs the reasons why I feel Marxism is worth following.
And what is that?
Rule utilitarianism. Or I guess some people say you can fold that into act utilitarianism. So let's just say utilitarianism. Fine.
But but there's no.
This isn't a matter of idealism. It's a matter of understanding why we fight for what we fight for. What you're arguing for is intuitive morality, which is exactly what leads to every goddamn pogrom and mass slaughter that's ever happened throughout history. When people post-hoc justify what's right or wrong. Only the construction of and adherence to moral systems that you can understand can prevent that kind of stuff from happening. And it's why I'm hammering on it right now. I don't like it when you're laughing like, oh, hypotheticals, thinking...
Material conditions will dictate what's acceptable or not. And the only way we have to... Okay.
Like, why are you against the concept? Do you think you're smarter than, like, all of, like, ethics? Like, the whole philosophy? Like,
No,
that's like the most complicated...
So, okay. If you are, I don't know how to explain this to you. Like you have to look at history, right? That's one way. That's one way to look at it.
Oh, okay.
So whenever people have been enslaved, if they rise up and use violence to liberate themselves, then that is probably acceptable because they had material conditions in which violence was being. Okay, so
the Nazis.
Rising up against the Nazis was acceptable, yes.
No. After
World
War I, the Nazis claimed that Jewish bankers were holding the country down through...
And that was false consciousness because that wasn't actually happening.
How can you tell?
That was false consciousness. They constructed a moral utilitarian rule that did not align with reality.
They were not utilitarian. Wait, the Nazis were not utilitarian. Careful with that. They were very, very not utilitarian.
The point is that their ideology was not aligned with reality.
How can you tell?
What's this guy talking about? I don't know how much longer
Because
it's going.
Jews
Sorry,
don't
this is
actually
just
control banks in the world.
There was a disproportionate number of Jewish control of banks in Germany during the Weimar Republic.
All right, Vaush, we're done here. Thank you. Goodbye. This is that's all I need to hear.
You don't have an ethical... Oh my god.
So I'm gonna guess. I don't watch this loser's Twitter, but is he and Luna on Twitter now saying that Vaush is a Nazi or thinks that like the Jews deserved to die during World War II? Because that's when I had a conversation with him. That's what him and Luna did to me exactly. They were like, "Oh, Destiny thinks Vietnam deserved."
Project 30 name looks pretty fake, but will probably be brought up by anti-vaxxers in the future. So good to be familiar with it. Bonus meme. Wow.
Maybe the Nazis had a point.
Nazi has a point. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. This is exactly the same thing that he did to me. It's really scary. I guess I don't know as I'm getting older. Because he says that him and Luna are like translating books or whatever, or helping people learn. These people are really stupid. Like they shouldn't be trying to teach anybody anything. They don't understand anything themselves. I would hope that like a person listening to that conversation can hear how much like that America dude, his name is America, so that's not going on, had like no idea like what the fuck he was talking about ever. They're acting like V was arguing that unironically. Don't call him V. Now we all have to relitigate against the long-debunked Nazi lie that Jews control the banks because a white supremacist shared a Nazi lie to push back against the statement Jews don't control the world. This is why EJ left the stream. It's vile Nazi propaganda. Jesus. They're actually disgusting. Those two people are disgusting. That's the, but that is the same thing they did to me over Vietnam. Yeah. Well, it is what it is. It's weird. NonCompete sometimes sounds smart, but he's probably just repeating things written by others. I think he only sounds smart when he's doing prepared video content, and then he's just like reading things. I don't know if he's even done the scripts or other people have, but both Luna and him are really stupid. Like I don't know why they're pretending like they can teach people anything. It's super cringe.